Let me do another 4-wide demo to explain kind of just thought processes and everything. T-spins do give more lines. Generally really good. Okay, line pieces are very easy to accommodate. You just put one here, and you already have 3 blocks that accommodate the start of a 4-wide. Again, remember, for a 4-wide rule of thumb, you want to have exactly 3 blocks. I messed up the build on the left half of the screen. Makes it a little bit more hard. You want to, still build flat, and then we start. Unfortunately, square blocks are kind of annoying to deal with. With these pieces, you want to make sure that the remaining residual holes are on the same side. So if you do something like this, it makes it a little bit more difficult to accommodate. So you want accommodation's key. So I could do this, but now I don't have a follow-up. So we'll keep going down. Okay. And then the part that you need to also learn in 4-widing is being able to build the left stack as flat as possible and as fast as possible. So that's the other half of 4-widing. That's really important. So we're gonna start a piece here. We're gonna do this so that we keep the chain. Line pieces are generally always good to have. If I swap to the green piece as opposed to using the T piece, it's less accommodation. So T piece is good here. This is good here. This is so it's definitely like you want. There's a lot to be said about learning how to accommodate to like the next 3 to 4 pieces that are in your queue. So this piece can always link in that situation. I could use this piece, but I prefer doing the horizontal like that because it accommodates to way more situations. I can do this, or I can do this. I think that's generally going to be a little bit more accommodating. And again, it's hard to really explain my full thought process here, and that's why I haven't done a tutorial. Because there's so many situations, and I'm just trying to figure out how do I even think about 4-widing. I could do this, and that leads to a square piece, the most difficult piece to accommodate. And then I can do this many ways, so I'm just gonna do like, oh, I messed up. Okay, that ends the 4-wide. Gonna put this here just to make the left side easier to build around. So usually like the vertical L and J pieces. This kind of sucks because it ends. You see like that situation's a very unaccommodating scenario. And that's just how most L and J pieces, or most S and Z pieces are going to be. Is that they're just not that easy to work around. Like if you put this in the middle, like your combo ends. So there's just a lot of situations where you may get the line break, but your combo ends. And that just shows how unaccommodating those 2 pieces are in particular. So if you get into a scenario where you can use the S and Z pieces and it still continues your combo, like I would generally burn through those and your square pieces over other pieces, just because like if you got to choose between using a line like an eyepiece, the line to clear something versus the other piece, you want to save the line, because in a 4-wide the line piece is almost always going to be able to break and clear a line and continue the combo. So it's always really good to do the line, use the line piece if given the choice between using a line, or you want to always save the line piece if possible, if given the option or the luxury to. What's up, no easy kills? Yep, I stream on Twitch. Okay, So we're in a spot where we're towards the end. I have, 75% up. I'm not in a scenario to overforce the 4 wide. So again, when I repeat myself, you have to find a scenario where you have exactly 3 straight blocks to work with in a 4 column width. And it can be done center. It's less in this particular game. It's not needed. In Puyo Puyo, center well 4 wides are actually really good. And there's a bunch of videos that explain why. But in short, there's no garbage delay. So when somebody sends garbage to you, you're going to get it no matter what. And so the risk of dying while building up a 4 wide is very real. And to mitigate that, you make sure that your middle's clear. And that's the purpose of a center 4 wide, is that if your middle's clear, you don't die. Even if your sides overflow and go beyond the top. It's as long as the middle is fine, you're not going to die. Okay, so now we have potentially a 4 wide scenario here. I'm going to use some pieces to just help the right side. So you don't want to overforce the left side if it's going to be really hard to build your right side up. And that's what I ended up making a last minute adjustment to. And in the end, you have to just be a little bit careful of incoming garbage. So I could use the line piece there, but it's a really good piece to downstack, and I could be vulnerable to getting hit. So hopefully that gives, a little bit of an explanation to like how to think about 4 widing. I'm not sure what the tutorial landscape is on 4 wides, but if you want to integrate, it's pretty simple. Just identify situations where you have 3 straight pieces, and then just start building the other 6 columns up, and then you just build up and just unleash. And then figuring out like what is the best combination to continue the combo is going to be the most tricky part of the 4 wide, which is going to take a lot of trial and error and fixing. But as you do it, you're going to be like, okay, like that combo of pieces was incorrect. I need to do this instead next time. And you'll learn how to pick it up decently quick. Harddrop.com also has a full like decision tree thing that's really helpful, which I could link in the video. But the benefits of 4 wide, I haven't been clear. It's a really strong attack weave more than T-spinning if done correct, because the additive nature, especially when you get deep into a combo, is so massive. So line break at any cost. So I'm always looking in these scenarios to always have a line break ready, and that's why I drop pieces in the sequence. It's very, when you're newer to the game, you might be tempted to only use line pieces there, but you always have to find, to narrow the windows of vulnerability, to always have a line break ready, just in case somebody sends an attack to you at that high. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more insight to how I think about 4 wides. Again, one of the big things, just to recap, 4 columns, 3 spare blocks are what you need or 3 straight individual 1x1 blocks. And the reason why you need that is because that setup over having 1, 2, or 0 blocks means that you can continue the combo with as many combinations as possible. So that's why you need 3 straight 1x1 blocks to start the combo. And then you build the other 6 columns up. You build as flat as possible so that it's easy to combine pieces. If you don't build flat, then you're going to have holes and cavities, and you're going to end up in a lot of situations where you just don't have a spot. You're going to have to break on the low side, and it's going to ruin your combo potential because you're down stacking when you should be up stacking with your 4 wide, so that you can start your combo sooner than later. And then lastly, just don't overforce it. You know, there's just going to be scenarios where it comes very easy. You just look for the 3 1x1s. And if you don't see that, don't over-sacrifice your board towards the end, or else you're going to die. So, yep, 25 KOs this game, 13 T-spins. No Tetrises this time, though.